Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Chanakya Lokam. I'm the Director for Innovation at Microservices Systems, and I will be your host for today's webinar, Enable Microservices Through Messaging with Bluemix and MQLight. This is the third part of our three-part webinar series on IBM Bluemix and digital transformation. If you would like to check out the other two webinars, you can go to microsoft.com/library and check out the on-demand replays on our website. Today's speakers will be Josna Duvuri, who's our practice manager for ALM and Commerce, and we also have Venkaraditya Chinni, who's our Cloud Research Associate from our Miracle Innovation Labs. In today's webinar, we'll be quickly taking you through a recap of parts 1 and 2. We'll also be then talking about the microservices approach and why it is being adopted by future enterprises versus the traditional monolithic application architecture. We'll also be talking about MQLight and how it can provide messaging for today's developers, along with the 5-minute messaging model that MQLight provides. We'll also be talking about a couple of use cases for developers, and we also have a demo plan for you on one of the use cases, which is the worker offload pattern. We'll follow that up with the Q&A session, where you can ask any questions that you would like about the topic or anything related to it. You can send your questions to the right side chat panel, or you can raise your hand again on the right side panel, and we would be more than happy to unmute you so that you could ask your questions vocally. Just to give you a brief overview of Miracle, we are a global systems integrator headquartered out of Novi, Michigan in the United States. We have about 12 locations globally, including global delivery centers in Canada, India, and the United States. We also have a team of 2,000 professionals working around the globe to make sure that our customers are satisfied every day. Just a brief introduction of Bluemix, in case you didn't attend part 1 and 2. Bluemix is IBM's digital transformation platform, which is being provided as a platform as a service. It is based on IBM's cloud technology, IBM SoftLayer, and it can help you bring technology or prototypes or IT digital applications to the forefront in minutes or days instead of months and years of planning for your enterprise applications. The basic thing that IBM Bluemix is helping enterprises do is for even large enterprises to become as nimble and flexible as startups. And we also briefly talked about IBM's Bluemix integration services and the need for integration for digital applications in our part 2. We took you through the various integration services, including the secure gateway and cloud integration service provided by IBM Bluemix. If you'd like to see that demo along with the nuances of the Bluemix integration services, you can always visit our webinar and check out the on-demand replay of that as well. With that being said, let me hand it over to Josna Duvuri, who will be the speaker for today's webinar about microservices and enterprise IT. Josna, it's all yours.
Thanks, Chanakya. Hi, everyone. Today, we'll talk a little bit about what microservices are and what we have done using MQLight. So, coming to the approach that is being followed widely in enterprise applications right now is monolithic approach, where application core consists of the core business logic, which is in turn divided into modules, and then development is done. They have like a unified REST API calls where it integrates it with mobile applications, or usually it has a unified web UI where different web applications access through it, and then also it usually has a database adapter which connects to a central database. Same thing, any of the adapters will be connected to the application core, which usually the different pieces in the application core will be bundled together and then deployed at the same time. The main disadvantage of this model is it's hard to maintain the application, as well as it's hard to detect the defects in the in monolithic approach. Also, having a single point of contact, it's really hard for modernizing the application as well. If you want to rapidly apply different technologies where you want to add the application, it's really hard. The scaling of the application, if you want to rapidly scale the application, it's really difficult because there's again the central point of the application core that there will be a lot of factors which needs to be taken into consideration. Coming out of the monolithic approach, now we have the microservices. What microservices are? We divide the entire thing into different smaller modules where you have modularity. Each module, like you have different modules, each module will have its own API calls, have their own adapters, have their own database, database adapters, and everything. So the advantage of going with the microservices is you have the modularity, which comes as a part of the microservices model, as well as the scaling, reactive scaling. That's what is the best advantage for microservices, where you can quickly upgrade the individual modules without having to touch the other microservices. The main advantages are again like there's a rapid change can be at another advantage is the continuous deployment. Each different module can be continuously deployed, enabling it with application teams can individually work in parallel, where you can have one module developed in a .NET or a C# and the other module can be developed using a Java or any other application, and then they can still coexist. So these are some of the advantages of using microservices. This slide again explains the rapid change. And also, again, it's easier to maintain such applications. It's easier to maintain smaller chunks of applications rather than maintaining the core application if we go with the more monolithic approach. It also promotes collaborative development teams. What it means is different practices, different applications, different languages can coexist, and we can reuse the existing teams at an enterprise level, rather than training all the resources on a particular technology. We can have a Java module, Java microservice at the same time. We can have another service which runs on .NET. So, which in turn again helps for heterogeneous deployment or heterogeneous modules. Another advantage of going with and scalability. Again, if you want to upgrade or increase the capacity of the database or something, it's easier always to go with the smaller module rather than developing it at the entire application at the same time. So it definitely increases the reliability and scalability and ease to adapt for modernization. It is always easier to implement new technology in a smaller scale rather than implementing it rapidly on a larger application. So microservices all the way promote for easy modernization as well. Again, repeating the same thing, the advantage is heterogeneous service environments where you can have your own programming language, you can choose your own database, and you can choose your own deployment environment, deployment methodology, and everything, which best suits you for that particular independent module, which results in an optimum performance. So now that we have discussed about microservices and the disadvantages of monolithic approach, like to talk a little bit about the MQLight. MQLight, you have multiple deployment options. You can either do it on-premise or off-premise as well. And then you can download, configure, install, and write applications within minutes. And also, you can it's a programming language neutral API. Right now, it supports Node.js, Python, Java, and Ruby. But with support to many of the other programming languages is on the way. Also, it currently supports Docker for a container-based deployment and management. The two quality of service models that are available right now is at most once and at least once. The main advantages of the MQLight is 5 minutes to messaging. So let's say you have an idea and you can implement in the web console of the MQLight rapidly and then deploy it within 5 minutes, within less than 5 minutes onto the MQLight Bluemix service or on-premise installation as well. And then you can rapidly go back to having another, implementing another idea. So implementing new ideas is within minutes with this new MQLight appliance as well as MQLight service from Bluemix. Coming to the different message models or the messaging that MQLight works is, you have a sender application which broadcast basically sends the message. You have set of messages that it broadcasts, and then the messages are we have destinations. What the destinations are responsible for are basically distributing the messages to the end applications or the receiver applications. So the receiver applications will subscribe to the sender application, and the receiver applications will receive the messages based on the topic that they are subscribed to. The different use cases that are available in the MQLight appliance are worker offload, event-driven, and external connectivity. Worker offload pattern is what we'll be demonstrating today. Aditya from our labs team will be demonstrating it today. What it is basically you have a separate application which kind of handles the load or handles the messages that are being sent or that are being sent. And so if this is used mainly for image processing and event-driven model, as the name suggests, is basically event-driven. It runs based on an event. External connectivity usually is another model which it works. Here is a simple demonstration of the worker offload pattern. On the right-hand side, you can see that this is a regular request processing in terms of a regular queue processing, where the request comes in, then the application or the process which processes the actual request will be in queue, and then the response will be sent back. But when you come to the worker offload pattern, the actual request or the actual process which actually handles the request will be offloaded from the application, and which results in a quicker response time. If you see, if it takes 5 seconds for the regular response for the request response processing, in this worker offload pattern, it takes around 3 seconds, 3 seconds of the response time. So with that being said, now we are going to demonstrate the IBM Bluemix MQLight and especially the worker offload pattern. Over to you, Aditya.
Thank you, Jyotsna. Thank you for that. Good morning, everyone. This is Aditya from Microsoft. I work for Miracle Labs as a cloud associate. Today, I'm going to demonstrate a live demo on the MQLight service, which is there in the IBM Bluemix cloud. So, before going to that, I just want to give a small introduction on MQLight. So MQLight is an IBM messaging application appliance where we can send messages from to and fro between applications. So it really focuses on solving the developer problems to build rapid applications. So we have two formats for developing applications using MQLight. Basically, we have standalone. We have a software where we can download and install in a local machine, and the other one is the service which is there in the cloud in the IBM Bluemix platform. Today we'll go with the second one, that is the cloud service, which is there in the IBM Bluemix cloud platform as service. So I'm going to show the service for you. Right now we are seeing the dashboard of the Bluemix platform, where we will be adding some applications over here. And if you go on to the top right hand corner, we have a catalog option which will be displaying all the microservices that has been providing by the IBM Cloud Marketplace. So here are the services that has been exposed by the IBM as well as the third-party communities also. So we'll go for the MQLight service over here. You can see this is our MQLight service which we'll be adding into our local dashboard, onto the Bluemix dashboard. So you can see the configurations of the MQLight over here and the pricing and everything over here. Right now we are using the free trial version, so it won't charge us for us. And if you have any anything information related to MQLight, you can see the docs that has been provided by the IBM Bluemix people. So let's give a sample name for the MQLight service as MQLight sample service. So after that, just leave the application as unbound. We are not binding our application. Sorry, we are not binding our MQLight service with any application as of now. So we just leave it as unbound, and we just click on the create, where we'll be having our MQLight service ready for us. It will take 2 minutes to set up everything, and we can see our MQLight dashboard where there will be a sender and a receiver ends, and how many clients are connected or disconnected, and what are the messages that has been passing in the flow. So we can see all the stuff over there on the MQLight dashboard. I'll show you that. So one more thing, I want to explain about this sample application. What this application exactly do. So just now Josna speak about the worker offload. So we are demonstrating our demo on the worker offload patterns. So basically it develops rapid applications using this MQLight service. So it allows us to showcase the user patterns for the messaging, which is nothing but the user patterns are nothing but the worker offload patterns. So let us say if we have a front-end application which is serving up for a web page, and you want to process anything coming from that particular page, and every request that is coming from the front-end page will be sent back to bunch of back-end workers, which usually distribute that among the different workers which are there to process that particular request from the front end application. So each backend worker picks up the message or the sentence or whatever the message that has been entered into our text box from the front end will be picked up and given to each backend worker and process that. Here our main thing over here is we are transforming or we are processing that particular request or the word or the sentence which we are giving in the text field that has been processed and changed into an uppercase and sends it back to the front end. So basically the processing over here is it just converts into an uppercase. So after that the process what it has been doing by the worker is very fast. So we can say that the application will be more responsive by using this worker offload patterns. So our MQLight service is ready as of now. You can see the MQLight dashboard. So as I said, we'll be having the sending and the receiving ends, where the sender will be keeping some messages on a particular topic, where the destination, nothing but the receivers, will be listening to the same topic which has been subscribed. So where the message can be successfully delivered to the receiver. So here you can see right now we don't have any clients connected over here because we haven't started any application with this particular MQLight service, and we don't have any messages as of now to show you between the sender and the receiver. So this is the MQLight dashboard. Now we have an application which is already developed by us. So we'll just push the application from the Bluemix from the command line to the Bluemix cloud. So the main thing over here I want to say is we have a tool called Cloud Foundry that has been provided by the IBM Bluemix, where this particular Cloud Foundry will help us to manage or create services on the IBM Bluemix Cloud using this particular command line. So basically, we can create services and we can manage the applications which are been up and running in the IBM Bluemix Cloud through this Cloud Foundry tool. So it really helps us to manage everything in the cloud using this particular Cloud Foundry tool. So let us see a Cloud Foundry is installed in our machine or not. So if we give CF, we'll be having particular um, particular what is that particular commands which will be helping us to create service or log in into the Bluemix dashboard, and everything we can manage the applications over the cloud by this Cloud Foundry tool. So I'll just push my application onto the Bluemix cloud, where I already have my MQLight service ready. So that particular MQLight service will be binded to my application, which is already there in the cloud, in the IBM Bluemix cloud. Yeah, here is my application. Today my application is a Node.js application. As we already said, we have different APIs for the MQLight. We have Node.js, we have Java, Ruby, and Python. So today we are taking the Node.js application. So I'll push that application onto the Bluemix cloud using the CF push command. So in this particular application, we have two applications running. One is the front-end application, which is nothing but it takes a particular input from the text field and pushes back to the backend processor, where we have another application called worker backend, which picks up this particular request and process that and converts into an uppercase and push back to the front end. So CF push is the command where it searches for the manifest.yml file, which is already there in my directories. Basically, this manifest.yml file is nothing but a configuration file which looks for the service, what is the service that it has to bind to this particular application, and what is the memory that has to be consumed, and what are how many instances that has to be run. Everything, every configuration are been configured in this particular manifest.yml file. So whenever we want to manage any application from this command line from our own local machine, whatever the application we are trying to push, it needs a manifest.yml configuration file before pushing back to the IBM cloud. So it takes a few minutes to push our application back onto the IBM Bluemix cloud, where we'll get back to the dashboard. We can see our application staging in the IBM cloud. So we already have, we can see over here. So mqsample.node.backend is my backend application, which is being pushed from the command line using the CF push command. So it has been staging now, and we have another application, the front end application, which will be pushed in another 2 minutes, where these two applications will be up and running. And you can see over here the MQLight service is also binded to this particular application. So we already created the MQLight service beforehand only. So this MQLight service is being wrapped up or binded to this particular front-end applications or the back-end applications. So basically, I want to say one more thing is these two applications are communicating because these two applications are binded to one particular my MQLight service. The same MQLight service is binded to this particular two applications. That's why the applications, the messages between these two applications are being sending. We can send the applications between these two different applications by using the same MQLight service. So with this, we'll go back to this command line. Yeah, we can see our instance running now. Okay, our instance is running, and now it's trying to push the MQLight sample node front end. till now it pushed the backend. Now we are pushing a front-end application onto the IBM Bluemix cloud, where you can see that will be also be running in. Yeah, you can see over here our front-end application is also pushed up to the IBM Bluemix cloud. So now it will bind the same MQLight service to this particular front-end application too. Excuse me. Sorry for that. Yeah. Yeah, you can see all the details over here, like what is the memory size of our application and how many instances running, and what are the files that are uploaded onto cloud, IBM Bluemix cloud. So everything we can see. Oh yeah, yes, you can see here the application is starting, and the dependencies are all pushed back to the cloud from the Cloud Foundry. We have our application running. Uh, yeah. Now, if we click on the root URL, will be redirected to our landing page of our front-end application. I'll just show you that. So finally, our application deployed back to the IBM Bluemix cloud, and the application is up and running. This is the front-end page where it takes the request or request from the user and sends back to the back-end workers. Nothing but we already have a back-end application which is also running in the cloud. Uh, so here is a sample message. I'll click on submit, where it simply sends this particular response to the backend, and you can see over here the response is already there on the screen or on the web page in the uppercase. So this is what our application doing. It simply picks up the request and gives up to different workers, and each worker will be processing on the particular request that has been given from the user. So this is all about our demo today. With that, our demo is completed, and back to Chanakya.
Thank you, Aditya, for the quick demo. So right now we'll move on to the question and answer session. If anyone do have any questions, please do raise your hands on the right side chat box, or simply put your question on the question and answers box on the right side. Okay, since we don't have any questions as a point of time, we will move forward. If you want to try Bluemix platform, please log on to www.bluemix.net, where you'll be getting a 30-day trial version, and you can check out all the available connectors and everything. If you want to view this webinar or any other webinar that were organized by us in the previous, you can check out them at www.miraclesolve.com/library. Medical Innovation Labs team will be happy to help you on the help desk workshops or any digital transformation workshops or any pilot services that your company might be needing. You can also tweet us back at team_MSS. You can view our YouTube channel at /Miracle4565, or you can like our Facebook page at fb.com/Miracle4565. With that being said, I'll conclude the session for today. Thanks a lot for joining this webinar. Have a great day, everyone.